Hi, my name's Alex. I'm a STEM ambassador, and today I'm going to be telling you all about my job. But firstly, you've got to try and guess what my job is. So here are 3 clues to get you started. So here's the first clue. Can you see it? So this is my uniform, and this is what I wear every day to protect me whilst I'm at work. Okay, so here's another clue. This is a microscope. I use this piece of equipment every day at work to look at cells. Here's your final clue. This machine is called a microtome. I use a microtome every day at work to cut really thin pieces of tissue. Can you use these 3 items to guess what my job is? If not, don't worry, I'm going to give you a few more clues now. So here's what I usually get up to in an average day at work. In the morning, we will receive specimens from patients that have come straight from the hospital. These specimens aren't blood, they're not urine, they're nothing like that. Instead, what we get is human tissue or even whole organs. Every sample that we receive must be preserved so that it looks like it did when it came from the patient. Then what we do is we use a microtome, as I showed you before, to cut really thin sections of the tissue. This means that we can look at it under the microscope. Again, another item that I mentioned before. A doctor will look at the tissue under the microscope and try and find out what is wrong with the patient and why they're feeling ill. And then hopefully this can help them to get better. Okay, so no more clues. Have you guessed it? Okay, I'll tell you. So my job is a biomedical scientist and I work in the NHS in the hospital laboratories. I work specifically in the histology department, and all this means is that we receive human tissue samples, so whole organs or biopsies. Other biomedical scientists might instead work with blood samples or even take a look at the COVID-19 pandemic. Who do you think is testing all the samples? Well, this is biomedical scientists, and all biomedical scientists usually work in hospitals in the pathology laboratories. Does this sound like a job that you'd be interested in? Do you think that one day you would like to be a biomedical scientist but don't know how? Well, I'm going to tell you how I became a biomedical scientist. It all started at high school when I first found my love for science. I decided that I wanted to study triple science at GCSE. Then I went to college and I took A-levels in biology, chemistry and maths. This allowed me to go to university to study biomedical science as a degree, and now here I am. However, don't worry if this route doesn't suit you. There are other routes to become biomedical scientists, for example, an apprenticeship route. Alternatively, if you're not sure if this is something for you, you could always go and work in the laboratory as a medical lab assistant. I hope this video has helped you to understand a bit more about my job working in the NHS laboratories. Although biomedical scientists aren't very well known about, our jobs are really important and we've played a really big part in helping to fight the COVID-19 pandemic.